I got a text from some very credible dudes who said they pressed 50 to take down all the Big Meech posts, right? Once again, I got the text, I read it out loud, I was on...
Big Meech's giant welcome home concert
I told you it
was
gonna get
canceled.
What'd I tell you?
The bill was
what
insane.
Did I say?
The list of artists on it was...
This one's wild. Big Meech, the original BMF mastermind, the man who turned nothing into an empire, is furious. Word is, Meech just found out Rick Ross been moving a little too friendly with 50 Cent lately. And if you know their history, that's not just casual, that's dangerous territory. What began as admiration, Ross rapping, "I think I'm Big Meech," now looks like betrayal through Meech's eyes. And when Meech feels crossed, the whole culture pays attention.
Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Let's take it back for a minute. Rick Ross built a big part of his early legacy off that BMF energy, the cars, the cash, the boss lifestyle. When he dropped BMF, the streets lit up. It felt like a salute, a tribute to the movement Meech created. Even behind bars, Meech respected it, he saw it as love, as Ross keeping the flame alive while he was gone. Ross repped the BMF image proudly, interviews, lyrics, the whole boss persona Meech once embodied.
I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the sun.
But see, Meech's circle been loyal from day one. That BMF name? It carries weight and a price. So when 50 Cent came along and built an entire TV empire off that legacy, the story, the brand, the lifestyle, it hit deep. 50 was stacking millions from a story Meech lived. And Ross? He was supposed to be family. That's where the real fire started.
Y'all gonna be disappointed when Lil Baby don't show up? When Skilla don't show up, when Vizzo don't show up? And all these show up?
Problem with some rappers. Some rappers think they war ready and they beef ready till they step into the beef. And then they get somebody coming at them crazy. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what it's like to have beef with 50 Cent? 50 Cent is incredible with the beef. Not just musically, with every day he was going viral. Yo, your mother, your wife. I'm like, oh my God, this guy here. Like, don't get beef with 50 Cent.
People close to Meech say the moment he heard Ross praising 50's BMF series, calling it brilliant, giving 50 his flowers, that's when everything flipped. To Meech, that wasn't support. That was a betrayal in disguise. 'Cause in Meech's world, loyalty ain't negotiable. You're either standing with the family, or you're standing with the opposition. There's no in-between.
I can't believe a stand-up dude during his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat.
For years, Ross been saying, I made that record out of love, out of respect for what Meech stood for, the grind, the vision, the code. But Meech don't see it that way anymore. Not after that new 50 Cent connection. Remember, 50 and Ross been locked in beef for more than a decade, diss tracks, court drama, baby mama chaos, all of it. So for Meech, who's known Ross since back in the day, watching him get cozy with 50 didn't look like peace, it looked like a chess move with no loyalty behind it.
So BMF is BMF, but not because of 50, it's because of Big Meech, right? That's his story, that's his life, right? So I don't think 50 doing him no favors. They both profited, right?
Soon the whispers started circling the streets. Folks saying Ross only still using that BMF name to stay relevant, chasing the bag instead of standing on loyalty. And whispers like that? They don't just disappear. When those words reached Meech, he didn't shrug them off, he took that personal.
I owe you no loyalty. That mean I can't go get money elsewhere, right? If more money get presented to me, right, I'm gonna go get me a bag. I just did 20 years in prison, right? I'm not gonna let nobody stop no bags come in because of y'all beef, bro.
One of Meech's close people said it straight, Meech felt played. Ross spoke like family, but he's out there congratulating a man who made millions off Meech's story without permission. That's deep talk coming from someone like Meech, a man whose whole life was built on codes, principles, and loyalty. And this ain't about ego. To him, it's about legacy, about respect for what he built.
Dude, quit playing with dude. You know, I'm gonna say that much. Over and out. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. It's
Meanwhile, Ross living large, screaming, "I think I'm Big Meech," while the real Big Meech still fighting for his name from behind bars. He can't post, can't defend himself, can't clap back every time someone profits off his life story. So when Ross links up with the man cashing checks off that same legacy, yeah, that's disrespect in Meech's eyes.
Look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
To be fair, Ross' team been trying to explain, saying, this ain't about sides, it's about hip-hop, storytelling, giving legends their flowers. And maybe there's truth in that, but in the street world, context is everything. Who you stand next to says more than what you say. You can't raise a glass with a man your brother calls an enemy and expect everything to be love. So now we're in this strange space, Big Meech feeling betrayed, Ross playing innocent, and 50 sitting back, probably smirking, watching the chaos unfold. That's the thing about 50, he's a master of control. He plays the conductor, and everyone else ends up dancing to his beat.
What up, though? Boss of all bosses. And today I'm coming to tell all my supporters, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you got, you trying to make it go up, hit me right now.
Even 50 himself said in interviews, I don't owe nobody an explanation. Meech respects what I built, we're telling his story right. But let's be real, that doesn't mean Meech gave it his full blessing. Yeah, he respects the business side of it, but that don't mean he's cool with how everything's been handled. When you're a legend like Big Meech, your story ain't entertainment, it's legacy. Every lyric, every scene, every dollar made off your name carries meaning. So when people start cashing in without a real conversation, it feels like they're building castles using your reflection. Meech has been in this game too long not to see the pattern. He knows how fast people switch up when cameras, contracts, and clout start flying. So when Ross and 50 began popping up together, smiling in photos, talking business, Meech got the message loud and clear. The loyalty he once believed in had a price tag. And that's what hurt most, Ross ain't just another artist. He's the same man who once rapped, I think I'm Big Meech, the same man who built his whole boss persona off that image. So watching him salute 50, the man who turned Meech's real life into a TV franchise, felt like betrayal disguised as a compliment. Meech ain't out here trying to start no war. He's simply setting the record straight, respect my name. Respect the foundation. In the streets, that respect line is sacred, and once somebody crosses it, there's no walking it back.
50 had your key. Do you know what your one key? Me and you got the same key to any embarrassment. Whether it's factual or not, what is it? What's your key?
Being exposed?
Lena,
okay.
See, what most people fail to realize is, as Meech ain't out here bitter about someone else winning. Nah, he built his whole name by watching others rise and still carving his own path. But when you start eating off a man's legacy, off his name and the story he lived, you gotta move right. You can't halfway salute the man who gave you the blueprint, then shake hands with the one who turned his pain into profit. That's breaking the unwritten code. And anybody from the streets knows, you don't cross that line. Now, let's be real. 50 Cent don't play checkers, he play chess. Every move he make got a plan behind it. He know how to stir the pot, control the room, and make the world talk. So when Ross started showing love to 50's BMF show, 50 didn't see that as support, he saw it as leverage. A way to make Ross look like he folding. And that's power 50 loves. Meanwhile, Meech watching it all from the inside, hearing secondhand stories, hearing people debate his name like it's just a brand, not a life lived. Imagine that, being behind bars while folks outside argue about your legacy like it's entertainment. Then you see your old friends cozying up to the man who turned your movement into a TV script. That's not just frustrating, that's disrespect wrapped in business suits. Ross, on the other hand, trying to play neutral, smiling, posting quotes, acting like it's all love. But those who know this game understand, silence speaks louder than statements. You can say no beef all day, but when you stand beside someone your brother don't rock with, that silence sound a lot like betrayal. Meech comes from a time where loyalty was law, every handshake meant something, every word had weight. So when he hears Ross praising 50's project, it don't sound like love, it sound like excuses. And the fans see it too. They calling it out online, saying Ross forgot the roots that built him. The same BMF spirit he once shouted out, he now selling to someone else. The internet don't miss nothing. Meech can't speak publicly, but his people do, and they made it known, Meech don't like the energy. Because this ain't just rap, it's legacy versus leverage. Old school loyalty clashing with modern business. Ross thought he was keeping peace by staying cool with both sides, but in this game, neutrality don't exist. You either stand with the name that built you, or with the ones profiting off it. And that's the irony, Ross built his whole brand on loyalty, family, and boss talk. But when it came time to live it, the actions didn't match the anthem. Meech's people said it best, we don't need money or shoutouts, just respect the foundation. That's real. No apology needed, just acknowledgement. Ross could have easily said, I got love for Meech in the family, I'd never cross that bond. That's all it'd take. But he too focused on image, too worried about optics. Because deep down, he know, if Meech was free right now, he'd have to face that man directly. No internet talk. No subliminals. Just man to man. But since Meech locked away, people think they can rewrite the story. They forget, his presence still echoes in every city that BMF ever touched. So when he say he's disappointed, that message travel fast. The industry hear it even if they pretend not to. And Ross? He knows. That's why he quiet. 'Cause if he really believed he did nothing wrong, he'd clear the air. But he hasn't. He letting time do the talking. Problem is, when it come to BMF, time don't erase. It remembers. Right now, things just hanging, no beef, no peace. Meech ain't looking for war, just respect. And the message is clear, if you scream BMF, mean it. Ross got a choice to make, fix it privately or fake it publicly. But loyalty? Once cracked, it never looked the same again. You can patch it, paint it, but the scar stays. And in this world, cracks in loyalty can cause earthquakes. So what's next? Ross will keep saying it's business, 50 will keep building empires, and Meech will keep reminding everyone, his story ain't a storyline. It's a legacy. And through it all, the streets still chant one thing loud enough for everyone to hear, free Big Meech. Because respect like that? You can't buy it. Ross might have borrowed the boss image, but Meech? He is the blueprint. Always was.